Okay, this is my Brian Gay's Woodwind Final teaching lesson for for Woodwind Methods. Jonathan Mashburn's my student, and we'll be doing a lesson on flute. So if you'll take your flute and lay it flat in your lap like you have, make sure that your Yamaha logo's up. That's usually how you tell if it's the right way up. You don't want to open it up upside down. And then you'll open it up, keeping it flat on your lap, being careful not to let it fall off. And you'll notice three main pieces. The longest piece that you see with most of the keys is the middle joint, and then the smallest piece you see on the bottom left is the foot joint, and then the head joint is the medium piece at the bottom right. So what you want to do to first assemble the flute is you'll take the middle joint, and you'll take the foot joint, which is the smallest one, and you'll see this ring right here, right? You'll see the ring, and you're going to take the foot joint with the side with the keys closest to it, and you'll see the little arrow on the back of it, and you'll place that right here. And just kind of lightly push it on and twist it on. You gotta be gentle with it because it's thin metal. So there's a way to align it. It has to be aligned properly. And on student models like we have, you'll take there should be two arrows on the back of it, and you can line those up. And if you had a more professional model that didn't have those, you could take you could judge it based on the rod here, and it would split the tone holes if you look down it, split them in half like that. So next we're gonna take the head joint, and we're going to flip the flute around. If you're right-handed. Yes.
Yes.
Good. So the head joint, the darker metal here is going to go into the head joint like this, which is where the logo is. And you're going to lightly push it in and twist it, just like we do with the foot joint. And you don't want to push it in all the way, because this is where we tune the flute. You want to keep it about a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch, maybe, out. Closer to a 1/4 inch. So for adjustment here, you take the logo that we have here and you line it up with the arrow here. Is that still going even though it's dark?
Yeah.
Okay. You line up the logo with the arrow. Okay. Wow, it's already at 2 minutes. So, or if you wanted to check it, you could look down it like this and check the tone hole with the keys. Okay, so now that we've got the flute assembled, be really careful with it and we can close up the case. You can put that by your foot. So that's the assembly of the flute. And for posture, it's generally the same for any wind posture. You want to sit up on the front of your chair, sit tall, and feet flat on the floor. And you want to keep your head, even though it's going to be tempting when we start playing to kind of droop it a lot of different ways, it's really important that you keep your head at 90 degrees and not angled in any kind of weird way, okay? And that's general posture, not like that. So instrument carriage and hand position. So basic instrument carriage is it's going to be parallel to the floor. So go ahead and bring it up. You want your left hand to come at you like this across the first part. Yeah. And then the right hand is going to come on this way. And you want your hand positions to be both in the shape of a very nice rounded C. Very good. Okay. We won't worry about covering holes or keys right now. But there's a lot of so for hand position, there's three main support positions, support points along the flute, and the first one, the main one is going to be the first knuckle on your left hand is going to go right in between this space on the back side like that. Very good. The next one is going to be your lip to the what's called the lip plate, and the third one is going to be your right thumb. Let's say about where this middle key is here. This one, okay. And it'll make more sense if you were actually to start playing notes, because it'll feel natural where it should rest. But so the way it works is the lip, you push away from the flute, you push the flute away from your body with the lip, you pull it towards your body with the index finger, and with your thumb you push it away from the body. So you've got three big points that two are pushing away and one is pushing towards. So it's less holding it like this and more balancing it. So try if you can just to kind of let your fingers float up like this, like you're just kind of balancing it. Takes a little work. You got to push more with the lip. Yeah, it's pretty close. It's delicate, but you'll get there. So now you still want to maintain that C position, but you'll notice that when you're trying to cover these keys, it's a little curved as opposed to like this. It's a little more curved position with the left hand. So keep a good curved C. Let me see if there's anything else. And your thumb generally will be on that back first key right here as guidance. Yeah, to kind of where your hand should rest. So just bring it up to your lip again and make sure that posture and hand position are correct. See around the back. Nice, nice, good C's. Okay, let me make sure. I'm gonna watch my time. Okay, good. Okay, so let's talk about breath support. So as a non-wind player, it's a little tricky to first start really breathing correctly as a wind player. So what you want to do is, since you're already sitting up straight, you can kind of let the flute rest easy. What I want you to do is take in a deep breath and stress that the place that you're taking it from is like your belly, it's your diaphragm. You want to feel your diaphragm expanding both outwards and sideways. And you'll even feel it a little in your back if you're doing it correctly. So make sure you're not going and breathing up here. You don't want any tension up here. You want to bring it all from down here. Because what that does is create natural tension here and a natural pressure to release. So it keeps a steady airstream when you release. So try that, just go. And you should feel it a lot down here and less up here. So release and try it again. Yeah, that's good. It looks like it's coming from the right place. It takes practice. It's a little hard to tell. So that's breath support, and you're going to need a lot of it when you're playing the flute, because a lot of air is wasted, and it takes a lot of air to play it correctly, and you can get lightheaded really easily. But that's kind of what you have to do. And for embouchure, now this can prove a little tricky at first, but you can get it. So your general embouchure is a good image for your embouchure is to have a tiny little diamond in the center of your lip, almost like you're doing a small whistle. So just to form an embouchure like this for me. You don't want it too small where you can't get anything out, but you don't want it too wide where you're wasting air. So you want it just a little more than whistling. That looks pretty good, yeah. Can you whistle? Okay, no, that's fine. Okay, so take out your head joint for me and place the rest of the flute on your lap. We'll try this exercise. It's useful to kind of get the first sound out of the flute. So just take it in both hands and place the wider version, should be pointing to the right, yeah. And now place that up to your lip and just go. We'll talk about mouthpiece to mouth in a second, but I'm just trying to see that. Yeah, it's pretty close. So I guess we can go ahead and with embouchure, go ahead and talk about mouthpiece to mouth. So the way that you, and then we'll add the flute in a second. The way that you want your mouth to fit to the mouthpiece is certainly with the widest part towards you. You certainly want to go that way. And then where your bottom lip meets the actual skin, where your chin starts, is where you want the bottom of the tone hole to feel. So you should feel just the very bottom, the edge of the tone hole when you place it up to your mouth. So see if you can find that. You can just feel the ridge right where your lip meets the chin. So a good way to find this, so take it off and bring it back up. A good way to find this really quickly is to kind of almost kiss the flute and then kind of roll it down like this, and it should be in a pretty, a relatively correct position. So just try with the embouchure that we talked about, the little diamond, the slight whistle, see if we can get a first tone out. Pretty close, it's a little low, so bring it out just a little more. Good. Don't blow so fast. Good. With airstream and with a little bit of twisting here and there, it affects the pitch. But that's a good sound. So now take your hand like this and plug up the right side. And now do the exact same. Yeah, do the exact same thing. Great. Good. Okay, so let's put it back together and remember to leave about a 1/4 inch. Let's see where we are in time. Ooh, getting close. Okay, good. Make sure that you're still aligned. That's important. Otherwise the keys won't work correctly. It'll be kind of awkward. Good, pretty close. Okay, now let's try to find that place with the instrument and all its proper balance points. Remember those. And while I'm thinking about it, we can mention there's 2 more balance points when you're actually playing notes that will help you, but they're not the main ones, and that's the back thumb, which is also a useful balancing point, and the right pinky on this key. Good, that one. And you use those are down almost for every note, especially on the beginning notes that we'll learn. But they're not the main ones. You certainly want the index finger and the back, or the right thumb to be the main ones. So bring it up and make sure that you have good posture. And let's take in a deep breath. Remember that embouchure, small diamond, and try and find that where the lip meets the tone hole. and see if we can, don't cover any holes, it should just be completely open, see if we can get out what's a C sharp. Good, good. Bring it over just to my right a little bit. Oh, yeah. Try again. Slower here. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, so now let's talk about articulation. We're running out of, a little over time. So the way that we articulate is the tip of the tongue to the top of the back of the teeth. So let's say that this was your front tooth. Let's say that this was your front tooth. And this is your tongue, and this is the inside of your mouth. If this is your front tooth, and this is where the gum meets the front tooth, the roof of your mouth meets the back of the front tooth, you want your tongue to hit right where they meet when you're articulating. You don't want it to come here and stick out of your lip like that. You don't want it to articulate on the mouthpiece. You want it to articulate behind the teeth. So just do that by itself. And you can kind of see how it allows for the proper embouchure to stay there. It allows for that point to be there. So try and keep your proper embouchure and articulate without the flute. See if you can keep a smaller embouchure when you're doing it. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty close. So let's just try ta, 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 and then a long sustained note on C sharp, the open one. 1, 2, ready. Try it on your own. And you're a little off center. There we go. Yeah, it's a lot of air. Keep your embouchure correct, taking a big breath. Good, good. I think you've got the articulation correct. Let's see if we can keep a smaller embouchure because you're wasting a lot of air with it because your embouchure's too big. Try a little more pointed, that tiny diamond. That's okay. Keep it. That's the right size. It's the right idea embouchure-wise. It's the right aperture size. But keep a slower airstream just to get that C sharp out. Right now you're popping out the next one, which is great. We'll get there. Smaller embouchure. I think you're covering a hole. Yeah. Okay. It's okay. Smaller aperture. Good. Okay. I think that's it for the first lesson. Okay, great. I think we covered everything. I hope we did. I'm dizzy. Yeah, it's a lot of air. Okay, I hope we got everything. It's been a fun class, Dr. Powell. Thank you.